In this video, we're going to talk about MET, or Muscle Energy Technique. So MET is our most powerful tool for restoring resting length to muscles that have become habitually short and tight. So in this video, we're going to look at the key steps to make sure you're getting the most out of your MET practice. So as we said, MET is a very dynamic way of restoring muscle resting length. And the reason there's muscle energy in the title is because the client is actually going to be active in this technique. They're going to contract either the muscle we're trying to get to relax, or in some cases, the opposing muscle. So we've got two different ways of describing this. I'm going to do a muscle energy technique on Alison's quadriceps, because quads tend to be short, tight, and facilitated, particularly rectus femoris, and it can influence how the knee moves and also how the hip moves. So in order to do this, I'm going to bend the knee, and I'm going to check for the first point of bind. So when I bend the knee initially, it moves quite freely. There's no resistance to motion. It feels like it's almost floating. As I increase, at a certain point, muscle resistance is going to kick in. Just there, I can feel that there's some resistance. I can push the leg a lot further. We can see it's starting to move Ali's hip, a sure sign that her rectus femoris is a little bit tight and is going to benefit from this muscle energy technique. So I go to that first point of resistance, and that's typically called the first point of bind. I'm going to come back a fraction from that, and then I need to brace. Now normally I would put a hand on the table so I can lean forward, and I'd put Alison's foot against my shoulder. Just for clear visuals, I'm going to keep my arm out of the way, but I'm going to ask Alison now to, with a gentle 20% of her effort, or you could say less than half your strength, just try to push the foot back towards my shoulder, Ali. Good, you can go a little stronger again. Good, that's a good level. Now here, we're using contraction of the quads to get the quads to relax and increase our range of motion. 9, 10, and relax. Take a deep breath. This gives the nervous system a chance to process, and now I'm going to increase to the next point of resistance. Come back a fraction and ask Alison to push back against me again, pushing in. So she's contracting her quads, changing the neural input so that the muscle relaxes a little bit and we can stretch it a little bit further. She pushes for about 10 seconds, then I ask her to relax, take a deep breath, exhale, and we'll see, can we move the needle further? Yes. So the quads are relaxing. We're going further before we meet resistance. I'm going to come back a fraction from that point of bind, or our point of resistance. You're going to push back against me again, Ali. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll see, can we get a little bit further? A little bit of an increase there. Good. So typically MET is going to be repeated 3 times, but we can do 4, 5, or even 6 repetitions so long as we continue to see an increase. If by maybe the 4th or 5th go, when Alison relaxes, I don't really see much increase, it's not really worth doing another MET. So we're looking at how much gain are we achieving with each repetition. So here we said we're using the quads, that's what she's contracting, so that we can lengthen and stretch them. But in some circumstances, we might get the client to contract the opposite muscle. When we contract the target muscle, the one we're trying to affect, that's called post-isometric relaxation, or PIR for short. And it means that after contracting, post means after, isometric because she tensed without moving the joint, we have post-isometric relaxation, a reduction in tone that allows us to move the leg further. I could do the opposite, that's called RI, or reciprocal inhibition. I wouldn't do it in this case though, because there's a good chance that Alison might actually get a cramp in her hamstrings if we tried to repeat from this technique. If I said to Alison that I wanted to, don't actually do this, Ali. If I ask Alison to contract her hamstrings, that she's pulling the heel this way, that will also relax her quads. But hamstrings have a tendency to cramp when really tensed in a shortened position. This works very well with other muscles. Say, for example, if we were working on the bicep. If contracting the bicep was painful, we could get the person to contract the tricep. The idea is still the same. They're going to contract for 10 seconds, and when they relax, we should be able to extend and stretch the bicep further. So to summarize, MET is for restoring normal resting length to a muscle. We apply this to muscles that are short and tight. The way we're going to remember how to apply this is we think of again of our 3-word memory hook. In this case, our 3-word memory hook is contract, relax, and stretch or lengthen. So we hope you enjoyed this video. Try it out in your clients. Let us know how you get on in the comments. And if you like these videos, be sure to subscribe. Thanks very much.